Hello everyone, and welcome to Dermbeda's beauty blog, Skinterview. I'm your host, Vanita Sivamani, and I'm here today with Denise Fuller. So glad to have you, Denise. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Vanita, for having me.
Well, so my first question really is to start a bit about your background and tell us how you got involved and interested in the beauty industry.
Well, thank you again. Thank you for having me here, and I'm looking forward to meeting more of your practitioners that participate on these online integrative information about beauty and wellness. How I first got started was I actually grew up in the industry. My father is a naturopath physician, and so wellness and natural therapies has always been a part of my life. When I got a little bit older, he sat me down and said, Denise Renee, it is time for you to grow up and figure out what you want to do with your life. Now, of course, Dad wanted me to become a naturopath doctor, and that I wasn't interested. You know, the old adage, when kids see their parents doing it, they're like, oh no. But I was a single mom. I've become a single mom twice in my career. And I went to aesthetic school because I was interested in beauty. But being a licensed esthetician is more than just makeup or the outside factor. So those roots of what my dad had been preaching started to really take root and started to bloom the more I became educated in the aesthetics and the wellness industry. So when I first became an esthetician, I was 24, and that was in 1994. Like I said, I was a single mom. I had a 4-year-old son, and been very fortunate to have a wonderful career. I've worked in 5-star resorts all over the world. I've been a consultant. I've been an editor of a national aesthetic and spa magazine. I've been interviewed on TV and radio and online. So it has spanned. I've been able to contribute in books, and I always come back to whatever your career is, you can make money at this. When it's your passion, the doors really do open. And I've been blessed because, again, starting out as a single parent, and then a couple years ago, my husband passed away. So suddenly I was thrust into becoming a single parent again, now with 3 children. And my aesthetics, my background, my education has been able to provide for my family. So when I look at aesthetics and wellness and the spa, it's not just a business. It's about my family. It's about my community. So I love what I do.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. That really comes across in how you describe what you do and all the things that you've been leading. So yeah, that's really wonderful. So is that kind of what inspired you to build the National Aesthetic Spa Network?
Yes, actually it is. I was speaking in 2004 with another colleague of mine, and at that time there wasn't Facebook, there wasn't online chat rooms, and so if you went to a trade show, you went there for 2 reasons. You went to shop, or you went to go and get some education. And a lot of times at trade shows, it's really about the shopping, and it's not about the connecting with the professional vendors or your professional colleagues. So she was kind of lamenting that she was in a treatment room all by herself and wanted to meet other estheticians. So we decided in 2004 to start, and we called it actually the Florida Aesthetic Network. And it started out in Florida with 20 estheticians in a round table. No vendors, nothing was charged, it was just free. And I kind of go back and I look and I think, we probably should have called it AA, Aesthetics Anonymous, because we all have a problem, we need each other, and we can help each other. And that's really how it blossomed, was just from estheticians wanting to be able to communicate, dialogue, help each other. Then a couple of years later, I started to get phone calls from Atlanta, New York, Texas, California, asking if they could participate in our Florida event. And I was like, well, why couldn't you? They're like, well, it's for Floridians. I'm like, no, it's not. They're like, well, that's what your name kind of says. So I went back to the drawing board with the co-founder, Janet McCormick, and I said, we need a new name. So we decided to call it the National Aesthetic Spa Network. That way it encompasses a more national, everyone in the United States. estheticians, and also spa practitioners. It's not just for estheticians, it's for massage therapists, it's for nail technicians, cosmetologists, wellness practitioners, and spa owners, all coming together to learn, grow their career, and to network.
That's really terrific. And so it's been around for over a decade, right?
Yes, since
Wow.
2004.
Okay. Yeah,
And
that's
so
fantastic.
we do have membership. Membership is free. I really do believe in giving back to our industry, and that's just kind of the heart of who I am. And I'd rather pass on the savings. That's one of the reasons why we keep it affordable when we do have our educational events so that anyone can go. And if you save $50, I'd rather you take that $50 or $100 and go purchase the equipment that you may need to be a better practitioner. So for our 1-day events, we do have a minimal charge, but it includes lunch, a swag bag, full day of education of the top experts in our field. So it's dynamic, it's exciting, and you don't want to miss one of our events.
That's terrific. So, how have you seen integrative holistic therapies evolve over the span of your 25-year career?
It comes back to how I was raised. My father in the 1970s was a naturopath physician, and people just could not grasp or understand what that was. Natural therapies, and a lot often they'd call him a masseuse. And the biggest thing that I can see with integrative medicine is how social media has really brought it to the forefront. Consumers now, when you say acupuncture, it's not woo-woo, it's not voodoo, it's not weird. You're seeing it even on Groupon, how acupuncture is being, that you can participate or get a treatment. And that's exciting for all practitioners, that the consumer is understanding that there's so many different modalities and therapies out there that they can grasp a hold of and take care of their own body, their own mind, their own spirit. So that's probably the biggest change that I've seen in 25, 40 years of being in this, is that, again, it's much more mainstream, and there's an understanding that has come to people, and that they're embracing it. They're wanting the Reiki treatments. They're wanting iridology treatments. They're wanting Ayurvedic treatments, and they are excited.
Sure, yeah, that's so true. What we're seeing as well, which is very exciting. We're thrilled about it. So, as a beauty therapist educated in Australia, what are some of the international differences you feel could be better incorporated in the US?
Well, I feel like the United States is finally catching up to what a lot of other countries do. And as a beauty therapist, going back to the actual training, is when they do their training, first of all, it's a lot more. In Australia, it's 2 years. In Canada, 3. In other European markets, it might even be up to 4 years as a beauty therapist. And it encompasses your skincare, your massage therapy, and also your nails. Now, I can promise you I am not a good nail technician. I understand it, but you do not want me painting your nails by any means. However, with that said, as a beauty therapist, they really believe in beauty from within. So when they do a consultation, they actually talk about diet and nutrition. So when I became a beauty therapist in 1995 and I came back from the States, I incorporated that because that's what I learned. And it was just very unusual when I was asking people, like, what is in your diet? How much milk do you have? Or dairy? How much salt? You have an acne issue. What is that? And they're like, what are you talking about? Not only did the consumers this was new to, but also my fellow colleagues were like, why are you asking these questions to your clients? I'm like, because it makes a difference. Because what is being reflected on your skin is what's happening in your body. So that's one of the biggest difference when you see a practitioner from internationally, is that they really have a good understanding and that diagnostic of internal versus external.
And that's such a key important factor to overall health and wellness and beauty is really, it starts from within. And so I like that approach. And we're also seeing that kind of increasing here, which is very exciting. So switching gears here a little bit. So the skin games, can you tell us a little bit about that? And also what's your favorite part about being a judge for the skin
Well, thank
games?
you. Well, the Skin Games is a new competition for specifically estheticians, and they are really about showcasing estheticians and their results. So it isn't necessarily who has the biggest practice, who's the most popular. They're taking an 8-week case study with their clients, doing a video diary, and then the judges are reviewing those videos and then determining which esthetician is really getting the best results, whether it's acne, hyperpigmentation. There's an open category. There's a compassion category. The compassion is if you work with a patient that maybe is has cancer, leukemia, what are you doing in that compassion? So there's different categories, and last year was the first year. So in 2017, this will be their second year of participating or being on the in the area, and we have grown it to that it's really an international skin games. We have people all over the world that have put in now their video diaries. They're competing, and as a judge, that's what I'm really looking for. I'm looking for the practitioners that know how to communicate and communicate their results as what they have had with their patients and clients.
Terrific. So what kind of skincare products or treatments do you utilize in your own personal beauty routine, and why?
Well, I can tell you that they are all professional. I very rarely will purchase anything that is retail. So you will not see me going into a retail shop or into the mall and purchasing my skincare line. It is always from a professional line. And I will not do multi-level marketing. That's just something that it's not that they have bad products. That as a licensed esthetician, I don't do MLM. So those type of products are always swept away very quickly. And I look for products, again, like I said, you can't find them on QVC. You can't find them in those Walgreens, those larger shopping centers. So they are usually found at a medical facility or in a spa or skincare wellness facility.
Very interesting. And is there somewhere on either a kind of a centralized website or anywhere NASN has this product information available, or is it?
Absolutely. If you go to nasnpro.com and look at our partners, we have some fabulous partners that have amazing products from DMK, Rhonda Allison, Glymed, Circadia. Any one of those companies listed, they are professional. And again, it comes down to having that personal relationship. I know the owners, amazing integrity. I mean, they really believe in small batches, integrity products, performance ingredients, and you can't go wrong with any of the companies listed on our page.
Well, there you go, followers. A great resource right there. Thanks, Denise. So which ingredients, so you mentioned ingredients and performance ingredients. What are some of the ones that you look out for when you're looking at products?
For me personally, I love lactic acid. Lactic is just a great tightening, brightening ingredient, and it's not harmful as far as a resurfacer, and you just get a lot of great results. In fact, this morning I woke up and I was like, oh, I'm having an interview. I need to look a little fresh. I need to have dewy skin. So I pulled out my trusty lactic acid products, those ingredients, and gave myself a quick peel.
Oh, very cool. Well, terrific. So, last question here. If you could give our listeners one piece of advice, skincare advice, what would it be?
Partner with an esthetician. Find a licensed esthetician, not someone that is a beauty pro, but someone that has gone to school. They have a good understanding. Their license is up to date, and that esthetician is continuing with her education. You don't want someone that went to school 50 years ago and that's all she remembers. You want someone that's going to be involved in their industry, going to NASN events, really participating and staying current. So best advice, see a licensed esthetician.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much, Denise. Pleasure speaking with you today, and it was really wonderful to learn more about your work and in advancing aesthetics and skincare. So thank you so much for all you do.
All right,
And
thank you. Have a great day.
yeah, and so for those listening today, please like our video, share it, and be sure to keep following us on skintegrative.com. Thanks so much.